Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. This video is about why Christian conservatives in Michigan and all over the world should not resist my war on poverty plan, but instead they should insist on my war on poverty plan. I'll put the 7-point plan in this main version in the description and in the comments. So as you can see on the screen, you see that there's a verse from the Bible on the screen. It's from Proverbs 29, verse 7. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. So my plan is not a communist plan. It's not a socialist plan as such. It is a plan that's about goodwill. It's about charity. It's about helping the poor. Too often I see that conservatives are insisting that people take on their ways. Show me where in the Bible that it says that you should insist on what you shouldn't insist on, which is people taking on your worldly ways, your racial ways, your region-based ways. The golden rule is to do unto others as you would have them do unto you. If you were poor, would you want people who are more well off to care about justice, including economic justice and romantic justice? Or would you want them to twist your arm behind your back and threaten you with deportation and abuse and neglect and sabotage if you don't take on their ways, which are based in race, for example? So again, Proverbs 29, verse 7. The righteous care about justice for the poor, but the wicked have no such concern. Now, the 2 verses before that are very interesting. In fact, the 3 verses before that are very interesting. Let's start with verse 4, right? Proverbs 29, verse 4, real fast. By justice a king gives a country stability, but those who are greedy, the word being used here is greedy, for bribes, tear it down. Now, taking a bribe can be playing stupid about the war on poverty plan because you perceive it to be in your best interest to play stupid when it's not. Those who flatter their neighbors spread nets for their feet. I'm not supposed to flatter you. You're doing the wrong thing. Evildoers are snared by their own sin, but the righteous shout for joy and are glad. You're snared by the sin of breaking the golden rule and the greatest commandment. And the second greatest commandment, which is loving your neighbor like yourself. So are you doing unto others as you would have them do unto you? No. Are you loving God with all your heart by keeping his commands like the golden rule? No. Are you loving your neighbor like yourself? And your neighbor can be a poor person in Detroit when you're from Grand Rapids, but it's not limited to the person who's physically right next to you. Pretty straightforward. Now let's look at 8 very pressing things that we must prioritize. 8 things that are causing the poor to suffer. Number 1, their rights, right? They're not being given their rights. Their freedom of religion, their freedom of speech and expression, their freedom of assembly. The press is afraid to cover certain things, like who I am, what have you, what I'm doing here. And so they're being denied their rights, especially romantic justice. And that contributes to the 50,000 suicides that are occurring annually here in America. That's somewhere around 1,000 or so every year in Michigan, if the number is consistent, right? Because there's 50 states. Michigan has a little bit more than the average population for a state in America, and so it's probably around 1,000 people who kill themselves every year here in Michigan, about 3 a day or so. And there's twice that many people who die of drug overdoses. So point number 2, right, the second thing, is that we need to end homelessness. It's very easy to end homelessness. You have the right oversight, you have the right cost-effective spending, you just end it, and you move on to something else. It takes a load off all of our backs, off our shoulders, and we can focus on other things. The less issues that we have that are pressing, the easier it is to focus on the other issues that are a bit more complicated to solve, like rehabs. I recommend vice taxes for rehabs. There's ways we can solve it effectively. We should have conversations about all these things. The fourth thing is food programs. We should have a massive farming program where no food gets wasted, and we should make sure that no edible food gets wasted from the farms. They waste tons and tons of food every year, while 1 in 5 children live in poverty, and somewhere around that number of children go to sleep hungry every night, one way or another, without enough nutrition, what have you. Point number 5 is affordable housing. If we just start scrambling to build affordable housing and charge people at cost, which includes interest, okay, this country would be a much better place. Seniors would have a lot easier time affording their housing. Veterans, you name it. Some people prioritize certain groups, some people prioritize other groups. That's why I bring that up. Point number 6, we need a healthcare analysis plan, right? We need like $1 billion or $2 billion more for oversight, and that'll probably save us tens of billions of dollars every year. And will create jobs and tax revenue at a time where America needs more jobs and more stability in regards to jobs, careers, finance, what have you. Point number 7 is police. We should spend at least $10 billion a year hiring at least 50,000 more police officers, okay, and put them where they're needed most. And the last thing is other things that pertain to cost of living, right, like Social Security. So there's other issues as well. These are some key issues to consider. And I went a little over time here, so I'm going to end it here.